Hi, I'm Mordechai Becher and welcome to the Gateway's Parshat vlog. It is the theme of this week's Parshat, Toldos, is the life of Jakob and Esav, the twins who are the children of Yitzchak and Rivka. And we are told that Esav from the very outset was a hunter, a man of cunning, a man who was very adventurous apparently. Whereas Yaakov is described as Ishtam, a wholesome man, Yoshev Ohalim, who dwelt in the tents, implying a certain passivity, stability, etc. Now it's interesting that we are told that Yitzchak, their father, he loved Esav. Apparently he loved Esav more than Yaakov, Esau more than Jacob, and Rivka loved Jacob more than Esau. What's hard for us to understand is, especially what we know from Rashi, which is that Esav seemed to be leaning towards evil, idolatry, etc. Jacob was the righteous one who studied whatever Torah they had then. So it seems very strange that Yitzchak would like Esav and favour him. I mean, you've got to imagine both of them coming home from school one day and Esav, Yaakov saying, Dad, I just finished a tractate of Talmud, I finished a Masechta, I just did a Siyum. And Yitzchak says, yeah, very nice. And then Esav says, yeah, just bench pressed like 250 pounds. And Yitzchak is saying, oh, that's awesome, that's fantastic. It's like a strange idea, it doesn't seem to fit in with our understanding of the patriarchs. And there are a few different approaches here. Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch understands that what Yitzchak saw in Esav was the political acumen, the cunning and the intelligence to be able to bring the Torah, monotheism and the Jewish way of life to the entire world. He would have been the Roman Empire, but the Roman Empire allied with Yaakov, with Jacob, i.e. the Roman Empire bringing not Roman idolatry and later on Christianity to the world, but the Roman Empire bringing monotheism, Judaism to the world. But that requires a hunter, that requires a politician, that requires someone aggressive like Esav. Yaakov, as far as Yitzchak was concerned at that point, did not seem capable of that type of activity. He was the scholarly type. He couldn't get his hands dirty in this world. So that's actually according to Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch. Rav Mordechai Yosef Leiner, the Ishbitzer, he puts it a little differently. He says that what Yitzchak saw in Esav was an adventurer, a pioneer in religion. And we know that pioneers sometimes have a hard time. They enter into doubt. They enter into situations which may be called pushing the envelope. The Hasidic movement itself was a pioneering adventure which was successful. The Mussar movement, Rabbi Yisrael Salanta, was an adventure, was pioneering, but it was successful. And many, many different movements within Judaism, within Halacha, were nevertheless pioneering and adventurous. And that, if the adventure, if the envelope being pushed, if the doubt being clarified is successful, then it's even better than someone who didn't try. And so therefore, the Ishbitzer classically says that Yitzchak saw that in Esav. Of course, we know he was mistaken. But what he saw, what he wanted to see in Esav, and what had Esav been sincere would have actually been a good thing, would have been Esav as a spiritual adventurer, a pioneer, so to speak. Yaakov, he did not see, he saw as someone who was what's called mitzumtzam, the Ishbitzer says, meaning confined and not willing to go out of his 4 cubits and have that adventure. Of course, we know that Esav, in fact, his intention was to fool his father, which he successfully did until Rivka intervened. But nevertheless, we do learn from that there is such an idea as being a bit of a spiritual adventure. You haven't tried learning a specific type. You've never learned Chassidus, try it one day. You've never learned Mussar, try it one day. Never been to a Kalabach Minyan, try it one day. Never said Tehillim by yourself, Jewish meditation, etc. There are all types of things open within halacha, within the mitzvahs, and it's not a bad idea for a person, as the Ishbitzer says, to do a bit of that type of experimentation. So those are two approaches. Rav Hirsch sees Esav as the predecessor of a really holy Roman Empire, a Roman Empire which will be kadosh and bring Torah to the world. And the Ishbitzer sees Esav, so to speak, as what he saw in Esav, what Yitzchak saw in Esav, was the predecessor of a pioneering adventurer within the world of spirituality. So that's a little bit of an insight into Yitzchak's favor of Esav. And that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. This is Mordechai Becher with the Gateway's Parshat vlog.